Hi, hello. My name is Marina Buzinik, head of Talent's Qubit Labs. Nice to see you. And today we have a special host from Portugal, Joan. And now he will tell a bit about himself and the company he works for. Hello, Juan.
Hello, Marina. Thank you so much for inviting me. So I'm Juan. I'm a recruiter with 9 years-ish of experience working in all my life in Europe, also in the States, but like 90% in Europe. And as the company I represent or I work for, it's a little fancy because I work for two companies and I have my own. I work for both. First, my clients, the one that I should be my bosses. One is Bluefielders. It's a Dutch company that I help for them find hardware engineers in Portugal and send them or like help them relocate to the Netherlands. Most of them, like all of them in Eindhoven, but we also have people in Amsterdam. The other one is a German client, a German company called Hirsch that is there's from Munich. And these guys want a different kind of role. They want Java and backend and purely backend developers for their hub in Munich. So these are different things, and I do it basically part-time and adapting to both needs. And as my own company, I actually recently started like 1 month ago, or like 2 months now, a different approach. Apart from actually hiring people and searching for people, I liked it and I wanted to do something different to actually help candidates to get jobs. And instead of focus on the company, focus on the people. So that's Tango Jobs. I right now have two different guys that I'm helping them actually how to do it, finding the jobs and teach them all of that. But it's not yet a website. That will be soon. I would like first to focus on actually helping people, then to have a brand and all of that. So this is myself.
Very interesting. And mainly you're working with Portuguese developers, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us, in your opinion, what is like the main difference or specialty compared with United States, for example, or other countries? What is special about Portuguese developers? Why are they now becoming so like popular in the tech world?
Okay, the question has multiple parts. Yeah. So first, let's compare. I will bring in three. First, let's compare Portugal with Europe, with all Europe, Portugal with the States, and Portugal with the rest of Europe. Okay, so with the States is quite different because in the States the salaries are like 10 times more. Are usually senior, for example, a senior Unity game developer. It's around $13,000 a month because it's like that is the market is very high, and developers the same, and that's like a normal salary, and you can actually go to a millionaire if you go to Apple, stuff like that. That's absolutely in Europe. That's no go. No, I would love to. Please send me that, but no, no. In Europe is different. In Europe, all of the Europe has like the same salary, give it a take. True, in the DACH region where I mostly work, it's a little higher, but it's quite similar. And in the Nordic countries, it's like 5 or 10% more than Germany, but you can more or less do like an amalgamation. That is different to Portugal. Portugal has around 20 or 30%, the last I basically calculated for this call, and from the salaries, 20, 30% to the actual numbers that you will get the same guy for the same job in Germany from you guys in Lisbon. So the process and the things will be the same how you work and how you get the job is very similar from Portugal to Germany on the DACH, but the salaries are different. And then you ask me also why people are coming to Lisbon. Well, that's a bit more history. That's because it's super to the water and it's growing a lot. For cultural reasons in Germany and a lot of companies like France, companies in England, Belgium, France, and Germany started opening up hubs in Lisbon and in the south, in Faro. Not in the north. Surprisingly, there is not that much activity in the north. And there have been like connections. For example, in Hamburg, there are a lot of companies that connect Hamburg to Lisbon, like a lot of them. And I don't know exactly why Hamburg, but I work with people of them and I talk with a lot. It's exactly Hamburg to Lisbon, and also in Leipzig, in the left south, and in London, they're also connected to Lisbon and to Faro to the south.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to get a lot of people from Latin America and from Spain that they basically move to either one to the west or to the east, and people all in Portugal all had a job in Lisbon, but they live in the periphery around because Lisbon is very expensive. It's very expensive. So there's been a lot of people that are finding jobs, and most of them are not Portuguese companies. They are European companies that hire in Lisbon or in Portugal.
Mm-hmm. Understood. And if to speak about Portuguese companies, like in which IT industries do most developers work? Portuguese developers.
Industries usually are SaaS. That's one to expect. There is in particular here in Portugal, there is a very high amount of crypto movement. There's a lot of crypto because of their taxes and their incentives. It's easier to get paid and move money in crypto in Portugal than anywhere else in Europe. So there is a movement there, and there's also Web3 and all of this, and there is also SaaS. That's a software. If you go to hardware, most of them are in the packaging and management system. That's what I do with Bluefielders, that there's a lot of hardware and mechanical, and there's a lot of packaging and processing and manufacturing. There is very few, for example, logistics like planes or like traveling, all of that. There's not that much, not that much. Only is packaging and this kind of stuff.
Okay, understood. Thank you. And can you say that there is some particular popular tech stack, like the most popular within Portuguese developers? Like
yes, comparison in Europe in general, the areas focus a bit more. Each area is a little like specialized in one. When I work in Germany, I was there 7 years. There were each country, and you can just look in that country, you'll find people from that area, and it was surprisingly well focused. In Portugal, there is a high amount of PHP. I'm talking about software. There is a very nearly none Ruby. Ruby on Rails is extremely rare. I didn't find it at all. There is, which is funny because people need it and very high paid. And people tend to work not that much in fancy technologies. They don't use, for example, React or Vue. In Portugal, the framework that is most famous is Angular.
These are the most popular stacks, and like stacks are the most in demand now in Portugal, in your opinion? Okay, so it's matching, like same. Okay, and as we understood, you work as a consultant, like a job consultant. You help to search for a job, to create a CV, or like to maybe to adjust it a bit. Yeah.
So,
and maybe you can tell us a bit more about it, like how does it work?
So as my own company, you mean? My own project?
Yeah.
Okay, so my own project, I call it Taco Job because I'm Argentinian, I came from there. And what I do basically, I fix on their CV, I fix on their profile, I actually help them how to approach the job search, and actively with each of these guys, of these candidates, I help them find jobs and either apply myself or send them to apply, but finding these jobs will match your criteria for whatever reason. It's like a process of them finding a job.
Okay. And also at the same time, you work from another side as a recruiter for the company.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you have the best answer, like from different sides. How long does it take to fill the vacancy in Portugal? Of course, it's there is no certain number.
There's no exact number. Yes, but to get a job in Portugal, let's call it a nice company, a nice tech thing, will be 1 month, month and a half, and could be a bit lower, but will be month and a half. The thing is that the first reply from you reach out to the candidate or the candidate apply to the job to the first movement usually is very fast. It's like 3-4 days. In Germany, that will be 2 weeks, absolutely always. And if because in Portugal there are not like huge corporations super established like Siemens, there is not that hardcore structure yet. There's it is more like a software startup ecosystem. There's like movement. And in Germany, there was, or in the DACH, usually the same job will 3 months, like the same one, whatever you want. In Portugal, that will be 1 month or month and a half. It's quite fast, in my opinion.
Oh, quite fast. And can you please give us a bit more details about the interview rounds process? How many rounds is it usually? Do they have a tech stack?
I work for two, in the past, not currently, but in the past, I worked for 2 different Portuguese companies. One was an agency that we focus only on e-gaming, like spots, like betting, this kind of stuff. And the other one was more like a pure tech job, like a normal crypto thing. And in the process itself is called similar to Europe. The only thing is that all in gaming and everything that is agency based has a lot more mini calls. In the agencies, they like to do literally 1 call extra in each of the steps. Like the first one, call, like an extra call, the challenge, an extra call, the close, an extra call. It's like a lot of mini calls with the recruiter, like 5-10 minutes call, but there are a lot of them. In agencies does it a lot here in Portugal. I was quite surprised when I saw it. And because in the rest of Europe, it's not like that. And if you go to stuff like with gaming and betting, there's also an extra step that is now required, recently started being required, that is the criminal background and this kind of stuff. They actually, yes, I was quite surprised when they asked me to ask criminal to candidates. But other than that, like a tech company in Lisbon, yeah, they will just be the first one, the challenge, and then the talk with the hiring manager or the tech or the CTO or whatever, the tech hiring manager, and then the offer with the recruiter or the original. Here it's not that useful to find, or it's not that typical to find code review call to explain what was wrong with the challenge or not. They just said no, and that's it.
Interesting about this security check. Is it you just have to provide a no criminal record certificate or like a deeper check with all backgrounds? Just a name. Okay. Understood. And maybe there are any specific topics that are considered impolite to discuss during interviews in Portugal?
Seems it's hard to say because both from seeing CVs and talking to people, each person approach different the interview. But from what I've seen in their CVs, they don't really like to put their achievements in their CVs. In Europe, they will always put their achievements, like myself. In Portugal, it's like not that cool to put it. It's very rare to see achievements anywhere in the CV, anywhere. And even when they explain that one developer designed one feature himself in the interview, he tells you, yeah, I did it myself, only guy, blah, blah. They tend to put it like, we did it, and be very, not very egoistic in a sense. In Berlin will be, I did this, I'm a rock star, come on, I'm Batman, absolutely. Go from the day one. Here is not that strong, at least.
Less of a self-marketing, let's say.
Yes, a lot.
Interesting. Thank you. And of course, the question that is interesting for everyone is like, what about the social package? Like usual social package for that Portuguese developers are used to.
From this, I can tell you this is something from my own company, because finding offers for other people. And the thing is that I was quite disappointed when I was started looking for the packages, because in Germany or in Europe, like England, France, Germany, Netherlands, it's absolutely typical that they pay insurance, and they absolutely typical that they give you, if you are a software developer, like a meal card or extra or courses and bonuses. In Portugal, it's very rare. Yes, they only the big corporations give you insurance, only like structured companies. Most of them just provide some events that will happen, and that's it. And they all talk about candidate growth because it's a relatively poor country. Portugal is right now growing a lot, but still a bit poorer. What the candidates care a lot is career growth and stability. It's not like fancy perks. For example, I never ever saw here in Portugal stock options or gym packages or stuff like that, which that in Europe it's quite typical, and in the States a lot.
And what about the amount of paid vacation days and sick leaves per year?
In Portugal, it's around 22 days, nothing fancy. There are not that many, like it's like a standard time. It's more than in Germany. It's more than in Germany, but similar to Spain, for example.
And additionally, public holidays are days off, or it's included in this 22 usually.
Usually it's not included, but doesn't change much. From 20 to you go to 25. There are not that many public holidays.
Not that many. Okay, understood. That is a surprise for me, especially about the insurance that
yes, I was expected to have like more stuff because now I work in Berlin, and in Berlin it's so hardcore to find a developer that you basically offer a lot of stuff, and the companies from the get-go gets a very nice package, insurance, and a lot of different things, and the gym membership is nearly a mandatory thing. Here in Portugal, not that much. People care about some hybrid. One thing is that I don't see that here in Portugal they love remoteness. It's not that important. They are okay or not. It's not like or not remote or don't talk. No, they're not that much.
And would you say, like, in percentage, maybe working from office and remote or hybrid type, what is like the most popular in IT?
Hands-on.
Okay, thank you. And also we have a question. Can you tell us what are the most common stereotypes that international companies have about Portuguese developers?
That they speak all fantastic English. Like they expect, if you see a company, they expect a Portuguese to be like God in English. They absolutely expect it.
And in fact,
in fact, they studied a lot, and there's a lot of universities study a lot, but unless the guy is used to work in it, in Portugal you don't use English. In day-to-day life, never. So it's expected that the guy knows, but unless the guy already has worked in a English-speaking language or English-speaking team, he will just have sitting on the university, and that's it. That's it.
Okay, understood. And like, what is the most spoken languages in Portugal?
Portuguese.
Just Portuguese.
Portuguese and Spanish. And people, the thing is that they are very open to languages. They don't really expect you to speak Portuguese, and they're like very relaxed and very nice with that. I've been here like 2 years, and coming from Berlin to Portugal, I saw much of a change that I expected. I expect to be more very similar. No, people here are very religious, are very calm, are very open. It's as a place to come to live is fantastic, actually. But work remote, work remote somewhere else.
But your mother tongue is Portuguese as well, right?
No, my mother tongue is Spanish.
Spanish. And do you know Portuguese?
I can understand it. The thing is that it's so close to Spanish that if you speak in Portuguese, I will basically understand you 100%.
So how long did it take you to start understanding, like to learn some words?
To be able to speak it?
Yeah.
Should be like a couple months, like 6 months, and I will be able to speak it. Yes, it's very, very close to Spanish, like nearly the same. Nearly the same.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I think that's all from our main questions. And maybe is there anything else you think we should know about hiring process for software developers in Portugal?
And one question: you guys are a Portuguese, are a Ukrainian company, a Toronto company? Where are you guys based?
We are like, let's say, mainly Ukrainian, Estonian company.
Mhm.
And we are hiring developers all over Europe now. Yeah.
Okay, then one thing that could may help you is that here in Portugal, for funny reason, after doing calls, I basically saw this, they are really, really, really proud of their own universities. So in Germany, when I spoke to candidates in Germany, they don't really care that it's in Berlin, Bonn, Munich, or whatever. Unless you are from Oxford or Harvard, it's not a big deal. In Portugal, no. In Portugal, they really feel very proud and very happy to tell you, yeah, I study in Coimbra, in Aveiro, in Porto, or Braga. And if you actually ask them, they will smile and they will really like that you bring up that topic. They really like it a lot.
Okay, that's
So,
interesting.
if you do
Thank you very
interviews,
much.
please try that.
Okay, sure. And do you want us to add any links in the description of this video, maybe to your LinkedIn profile or website?
It'll be great. It'll be great. Actually, to put the Tango Job thing and my LinkedIn. So at least when people enter, they just see like a banner coming soon or something. That'll be great.
Okay, okay. Then that's all. Thank you so much. And see you next time. Marina, can you please stop